Tonight's Showdown Game of the Week on My New 32 is brought to you by Gallagher's Pizza, Italian food, Irish spirit, Packerland Home Improvement, it's your home, Simon's Specialty Cheese, home of world champion cheeses, Cobison Buses, family pride in every ride, and Gandrud West Mason Value Center, where selection, dependability, and value collide. From Wrightstown, Wisconsin, it's time for live coverage of high school football. Tonight, it's a non-conference matchup as two of the best teams in the area go head-to-head. West Pere has made the trip to Wrightstown. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm Ted Stefaniak next to John Mino. No getting around it. The weather tonight.
Oh, baby. Break out the George Costanza puffy coat, people, if you're coming out. It is chilly. That wind, it's probably in the 40s or something, but that wind is unbelievable. Now we got like this stinging sleet that's hitting us from all directions. It's a crazy night for football, but, the players out there running around, they seem okay with it. But seriously, if you're coming out to the game, bring a blanket, bring one for me. Do whatever you got to do to stay warm.
Or just stay home and enjoy the broadcast tonight.
Or that.
Absolutely.
That's what I would do.
When we looked at the schedule at the beginning of the season, we put these together in May and June. But I tell you what, when we saw West Pere and Wrightstown, two teams that I couldn't remember the last time they played. There's a reason for that
because they've never played each other before. I think this is cool. A couple of schools from not that far away with tremendous tradition. I mean, state championships, all those sorts of things. And I think it's great that these two teams are getting together. Obviously, there's an enrollment size difference, but I'll tell you what, this Wrightstown team has been playing so good. They've lost that one game this year, and that was that Freedom team that we saw last week, which is a really, really good football team for that division. They actually outgained them, did all sorts of things, but had 5 turnovers in that game, and that really was the difference.
When we look at West Pere in the Bay Conference,
right?
They're last year in the Bay Conference for football. Take a look at the standings right now, and you see West Pere sitting atop the standings there. They have just dominated there, and really their toughest test of the year so far, that Menasha game. But you know what? They took care of business there. West Pere sitting number 2 in the state, undefeated.
Yeah, they've got over 2,500 yards rushing. They don't throw the ball much, but they can. They've got a great quarterback who's got a full ride to play college baseball. I mean, they've got it in pretty much every area. We've seen great West Pere football teams over the years, and this one doesn't have to take a backseat to anybody. Like I mentioned, they got 40 rushing touchdowns already. It's been a flawless season for them. They did give up a lot of points to Menasha in a really big shootout. But again, as you see, that was Menasha's only loss of the season.
Yeah, they've been outstanding so far this season. Then you take a look at Wrightstown. They've had a very nice season as well. They're ranked number 6 in the state, sitting in second place in the standings. Freedom's got a big game tonight against Fox Valley Lutheran. That's going to be a big game, so who knows what happens at the end of the night here in the Northeastern Conference.
Absolutely. Those are 3 really good teams right there, and don't underestimate Denmark or Little Chute. Both have had a lot of success this year, and even Luxembourg-Casco could still sneak in. But yeah, this is really a dogfight down the stretch for those conference championships over these last couple of weeks. Really good football teams.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of teams. They like to run. We would expect them with the cold weather to continue to run.
Yeah.
And this could be a pretty quick game tonight.
I'll tell you what, it would be so hard to throw against this wind. I don't care who you are, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, whoever you are. With this wind, the way it's blowing, it's actually coming. It's been going in different directions. The flags right now are going like right across the field this way, but we feel the wind coming right in at our backs, don't we?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's totally swirling all over. So that's what I mean as a quarterback, sometimes you could sort of read the wind. I don't know if that's possible tonight.
Right, and I know before the pregame started, you were talking about how nice it was that we were standing in front of the stands, which we were being blocked from the west wind. That's not the case anymore.
Not the case anymore. I try to use my hair as a wind gauge at times, and I'm going to say about 18 miles an hour, at least 18.
You needed another layer of aqua.
Oh, I got layers there, buddy, believe you me. Invest heavily in Aquanet.
Aquanet, there you go.
Those stocks won't go down.
Big game coming up tonight. A non-conference matchup here in Week 8 of the high school football season. West Pere at Wrightstown. The pregame show continues after this timeout. Now, the Sports Showdown broadcast schedule continues next week with a regular season finale as Appleton North visits Kimberly. Our pregame gets underway at 6:30, kickoff at 7 right here on Sports Showdown. That'll be a good one to wrap up the regular season. Hard to believe it's week 8 tonight. We've got a good one for you. West Pere and Wrightstown meeting for the very first time ever. Time to hear from the coaches, brought to you by Gallagher's Pizza. And of course, Gallagher's Pizza has 4 locations, including De Pere, East Green Bay, West Green Bay, and their newest location in Swamico. Let's talk a little bit more about West Pere. Of course, they are ranked number 2 in the state, ranked in the Division 2 poll in WizSports.net. Last year, they were the state runners-up in Division 3, and they've got another outstanding team this year, hoping to make it back to Camp Randall Stadium. Mino had a chance to talk with their head coach, Jack Batten.
Well, thank you very much, Teddy. Well, Coach, as I was talking to Coach Klister, neither of you guys throw the ball much. I'd say that's a pretty good thing for a night like tonight.
Yeah, don't blink your eye. The game will be over, right?
Like a running clock.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think both of us can throw the football.
Yeah.
I just think in high school football, it's smart. If you don't have to,
right,
why do it? Why take a chance and turn the ball over? Typically in a high school football game, you only get 9-10 possessions. So you throw an interception or fumble the football, and a lot of times that's the difference in a football game. So Coach Klister's a smart guy.
Well, that's the thing, though, too. I mean, you got a quarterback who's a phenomenal baseball player. We've been watching him since he's a freshman. He can spin it.
Yeah, he can throw the football. And there have been games early on in the year where we threw 12, 13 times in the first half, and then, we've got running clock in the second half. You're not going to throw the football.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We've watched these great West Pere teams over the years. Nothing really changes. What is it? Is it developing the kids at a young age and having them buy into the program, or the same coaches helping out, developing these kids? Because it's impressive, the legacy, what you guys have put together over the years.
I think it has something to do with the work ethic in the community.
Okay.
We have kids that are willing to work. We also have a physical mentality. Howard Kolstad used to say this, physical toughness. Our kids seem to have physical toughness. I don't know if you can teach that. We seem to have good, hard-nosed football players, and it happens every year.
Well, I think part of it, though, is, when we come to your games at West Pere, be loaded with 7, 8, 9-year-old kids, just loaded with them. And they're watching those guys. It's like watching a pro team, you know what I mean? As far as that's what they strive to do in their life, is be a part of that Phantom program.
And we try and have our kids be solid role models. If you ever see after a football game when we're done talking in the end zone, it's a mad dash for the football field. There's kids all over. Friday nights at West Pere are special, so it's a great experience.
So that is kind of a community thing where it just keeps growing on itself?
Without a doubt.
What do you see when you take a look at this Wrightstown team, Coach?
Very physical, 2 really good ball carriers, a quarterback that can throw the ball when he needs to, our sound defense. They don't miss a line. They tackle well. They're fundamentally sound. They're very well coached. They played a really close game with Freedom. Otherwise, they've been blowing everybody out. So really solid football team. We're going to have our hands full.
And I like what you said earlier. You were talking to Teddy about the last time you dressed this warm was against Rice Lake last year in that playoff game. We were in a snowstorm too. So once you get started with stuff like this, it's kind of fun.
It's a blast. We like to think of ourselves as mutters, but you can't be mutters on a turf football field. So we're hoping to become mutters tonight.
It's a nice September night in the UP.
Yeah, this is awesome. I love it. I love this one.
I do too. Except my hair doesn't like it. Coach, best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for the time.
You bet.
Teddy?
All right, thanks, guys. Let's talk a little bit about Wrightstown now. Of course, they're having a terrific season as well. They are 6-1 on the season. They are ranked number 6 in the latest Division 4 state rankings. Tonight's going to be a big test for the Tigers, no doubt about it. They're up for it, though. Mino had a chance to talk with their head coach, Steve Klister.
Well, thank you very much, Teddy. Well, Coach, first of all, it's good to see you. It's good to be back here in Wrightstown. It's been a few years.
Yeah, good to have you guys back.
We're reminiscing about that great old press box you had at the old facility.
Yeah, that was a little bit smaller than what we have here.
We called it the Ice Shanty. Congratulations on a beautiful facility.
Thanks.
Well, I'll tell you what, neither you nor West Pere throw the ball a heck of a lot, and a night like tonight, that's a real good thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a football weather out here.
This wind, how much will that affect anything?
The kicking game and field position, it could play a part in that type of the part of the game.
Now, we saw that Freedom team play last week. Nice team, the only team that knocked you guys off this year. When you see these other teams as the season progresses, how do you judge yourself? How do you judge where you're at this point, which is a real critical point of the season, getting closer to the playoffs?
Well, a test tonight. Yeah. West Pere is a heck of a program, heck of a team. One of the premier programs in the area. So it'll be a real challenge for us tonight.
What do you see when you watch them?
very talented quarterback, a big physical line, and very well coached.
So basically a Westy Pere football team.
Yes.
Pretty amazing you guys have never played, though, huh?
Yeah. Coach Scheibel is kind of our historian. He went back and checked, and we never did play them.
Isn't that amazing? Because, I mean, this could be a good rivalry.
Yeah.
Are you okay with it?
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Now, when you look at that team, and obviously they've just rolled up huge numbers, and they're doing it all on the ground as well. I mean, they throw, I think, 56 passes for the year, something like that. But when you see them on the ground, what are they doing differently? Is it the talent? Is it a scheme? Is it the blocking? What is it? I mean, they got 40 touchdowns on the ground.
The scheme and the talent. Obviously, they have a big physical line. They have a heck of a quarterback that he hides the ball well.
Yeah.
He's elusive out in the open field, and he's got speed. And they have a good running back, too.
Yeah, and he's got experience. I mean, third-year starter.
Right.
It's amazing. Okay, what do you see with your team now? A little self-analyst.
We're going to have to be able to control the ball. Hopefully move the line of scrimmage a little bit and control the clock tonight.
That's what you've done all year.
Hopefully we can do it again tonight.
Well, Coach, enjoy the ball game. I know this weather's a little rough, but like I said, it's good to be back in Wrightstown, and continued success for you guys.
Thank you.
You bet. Teddy?
Patty beans.
Well, there you go. You've heard from the coaches. It's a cool night, to say the least, here at Wrightstown, but it's going to be a fun night. West Pere and Wrightstown getting ready to kick things off at 7 o'clock. We'll have the entire game for you coming up here, right here on Sports Showdown. We'll be back after this timeout. Back at Wrightstown in a
Parents'
cool night.
night, which is
Parents'
cool.
night, yeah, they keep walking by. They're saying hello as they walk by, but that's always fun. I mean,
Well, I asked them to give up their candy bars. They're giving everybody these huge candy bars like you can't believe.
that's a great idea.
I told you just
Usually
leave 'em at the
they
table
do
here.
like flowers or something,
Yeah,
but
here's
I think
candy
I like the
bars.
giant candy bars. That sounds pretty good. So we'll have to get in line when we're done here.
I'll be your son.
Well, maybe the other way around. Hey, let's take a look at the starting lineups. We're going to start with West Pere's offense, and of course, you know, they've just been outstanding this year, starting with their quarterback.
Josh Blount has just been amazing. And again, we saw him start as a freshman. His statistics, we could hit on him because they're mind-boggling. They're all-state material, averaging 9.2 yards per carry. I mean, it's just incredible what he does, and he's a great passer as well. He's passed for 719 yards on just 36 completions. So you know when they do throw the ball,
they're going to get a big play out of it, averaging 64% completion percentage.
Sam Momartz also has 13 rushing touchdowns on the season. Aaron Wagner, the leading receiver, Kerry Kodonko, and Bryce Groff, they were all-conference linemen in 2018.
And by the way, that Billy Wyatt, 6'6", about 245. It's a pretty good-sized
They
target.
got some size, don't
Yeah.
they? All right, let's look at the West of Pere defense now. They've pitched 3 shutouts so far this season,
Yep.
John. Corey Cavill leads the team in tackles for loss, while Nate Jansen, 5 interceptions already this season. Owen Newman, all-conference lineman last year.
Yeah, they got really tough defense. I mean, they'll just come after you like you can't believe. It's one of those swarming type defenses, real strong up front, not overwhelmingly big like we've seen it sometimes, but just will attack you.
Wrightstown offense now, it starts with their 2-headed monster at running back, Jeremy Van Zeelen and Ben Yeager, over 1,400 yards and 19 touchdowns between them.
Yeah, those are the guys that really make things happen. You'll see the ball in their hands for most of the ball game. Their offense similar to Westy Pere's in that they don't like to put it in the air. I mean, they can, but especially on a night like tonight, it'll be 99% on the ground, I would think.
Yeah, I wouldn't think Reed Romanesco's
No.
going to be throwing too much tonight, but you never know on Showdown.
That's
do ya?
right.
Look at that Tiger defense now. Caleb Ritter and Mason Hendricks with 7 sacks between them. Jeremy Van Zeelen also doing the job on defense, leads the team in tackles. Mason to clean a couple of picks.
Yeah, good, nice defense. As we mentioned, they had that big game against Freedom a couple of weeks ago, and they're looking forward to this game. I mean, obviously they're going out of the conference, going out of the division, doing all kinds of things like that. But sometimes that's about the best way you could possibly ask to get ready for the playoffs is taking on a team like a Westy Pere.
Absolutely.
I don't think they'll see anybody in the playoffs. I don't care how far they go, like a Westy Pere. So this is a real good test for
You never
them.
know. This will be a great test for both teams.
You
I
say
think.
you never know a lot.
You never know because it's Showdown. How many times
We never know.
How many times have we said never have seen or?
I know. I'm not going to jinx anything. There's one thing going on with one of these teams as far as one of their players that I absolutely will not jinx. I'll see how it goes during the course of the game. I think you know what it is.
Yeah, I do.
It's an amazing streak.
Don't say it
I'm
yet.
not going to say it.
And it has
I
nothing
want
to
to
do
say it,
with,
but I'm not going to say it.
with 4th down on second
No, it
down.
has nothing to do with fourth down. Well, you just won't let that go.
I won't. Not at
Unbelievable.
all. We won't talk about it at all.
Do I look chunky in this puffy coat?
You look just puffy.
Okay.
We've got to take a timeout. We're getting closer and closer to kickoff, everyone. It starts at 7 o'clock right here on My New 32. Glad you're with us for Showdown. Well, back at Wrightstown, Ted Stefania, John Mino with you, getting ready for this big matchup. And teams are lined up, and it's time for our national anthem. So we will honor America by listening to the Wrightstown Marching Band with our national anthem.
And now the singing of our nation's national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, by the musical cast of the Sister Act. If everyone would please remain standing.
Tonight's Showdown Game of the Week on My New 32 is brought to you by Gallagher's Pizza, Italian food, Irish spirit, Packerland Home Improvement, it's your home. Simon's Specialty Cheese, home of world champion cheeses. Cobison Buses, family pride in every ride. And Gandrud West Mason Value Center, where selection, dependability, and value collide. From Wrightstown, Wisconsin, it's time for live coverage of high school football. Tonight, it's a non-conference matchup as two of the best teams in the area go head-to-head. West Pere has made the trip to Wrightstown. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the broadcast alongside John Bino. I'm Ted Stefaniak. Johnny, two teams that have never played against each other in football, and they're so close to each other.
Absolutely. I think it's really great that these two teams are getting together. And it's unusual to have a non-conference game this year late in the season, but I think it's a really good matchup for both teams. And the thing is, Wrightstown, as I mentioned, they're one of those teams that will try to keep it on the ground. They've got over 2,100 yards rushing, 33 touchdowns. They average 311 yards on the ground per game, an average gain of 7 yards per carry. Defensively, they've got 50 tackles for losses, 12 sacks. I mean, they've really been playing some great football. But West Pere, on the other hand, we know all about them. Great young quarterback, Josh Blount, 719 passing yards, 914 rushing yards, so over 1,600 yards of total offense. Momart's the main running back. He's got 647 on the ground. Van Vrede, 262 through the air. Defensively, they've given up a total of how many points in all the first quarters combined this year, Teddy?
How many?
Go ahead.
How many?
I know you're going to get it right, so go ahead.
17.
Seven. Oh, I got you.
You got me.
This is a special moment. This is a special moment in broadcast history. But they've got over 2,500 yards rushing. How many yards do they average per rushing attempt? What's their average gain per attempt?
8.
9.2.
That was close.
Isn't that something?
Hey, let's take a look at what these teams did last week. Of course, West Pere 7-0 on the season right now. A 49-0 win over Seymour. And again, you look at the what's happening on the ground. You see Blount with his 85 yards. That's passing.
Yeah.
He also got the job done on the ground.
Was it 2 weeks ago? He was the state player of the week.
Yeah.
In the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, and one of the contenders for state player of the year as well.
No question.
Yeah.
The only thing is almost he plays so little in the second halves of some games that he's not going to have those mind-boggling stats that sometimes people will have. So if you're from the western part of the state or whatever, you might not appreciate what he brings to the table and what he could do if he played a whole game.
Yeah. West Pere with 3 shutouts this season, so a very good defense to go along with that outstanding offense.
You bet.
Take a look at what Wrightstown did last week. They had a big week offensively, 58 points against Marinette.
Yeah. It's one of those teams, too, Wrightstown, I think. As we mentioned, they were really stung with that loss to Freedom a couple of weeks ago. They outgained them, did all kinds of different things, but they had 5 turnovers. That really frustrated them. They were so hoping to come into this ball game undefeated. So we'll see if they can get some redemption because of that, and if that's sort of a motivating factor.
Sure. When we put the schedule together back in May and June, you kind of thought that there might be 2 undefeated teams on the field. And again, the rarity of these two teams playing each other in football certainly makes this a showdown with a lot of intrigue tonight, no doubt about it.
Well, there's so many West Pere people I know that have ties to Wrightstown, and vice versa. So many Wrightstown people I know that have ties to West Pere. It's funny. And last week we had, of course, Larry Brick. Legendary coach, 62 years of coaching. His son Pat here is a coach for Wrightstown. They coached against each other a couple of weeks ago. So a lot of ties between West Pere and Wrightstown.
We're about ready to get things kicked off here. Wrightstown will be wearing their blue jerseys, blue helmet, and the Phantoms visiting from West Pere in their white jerseys, black numbers, black helmets with orange lettering. And the weather report, John?
Like I said, bring a blanket, bring those things to put in your boots to keep your feet warm. The wind is just nasty. And I checked with Coach Einert, a longtime legendary coach here. Said, what direction is this exactly? He said, it's coming right from the northwest. And it's like that's where all that stuff is coming across, nationally, all that weather. And it's coming right from there. And it is just a really cold wind.
I don't know. We were down there, too. I thought it was coming from the west-east.
It was all over. It was like, oh.
You're just going to let that go?
Yeah, I am. Because it was weird. We were standing there and it was in our face. Then all of a sudden we look and it's
the
coming
west-east.
It was like unbelievable. I'm pretty much, after that I look puffy comment, I'm ignoring almost everything you say. I pay almost no attention. So I'm just saying.
The jacket makes you look prosperous.
Here we go.
And we are underway. Wrightstown kicking off to West Pere. This will be fielded at the 7-yard line. And straight up the guts. And plenty of running room down at about the 35-yard line. Nice return for the Phantoms and a nice start to the game.
Yep, Matthew Seabrook. 5'6", 140-pounder. Quick as a water bug. Took that one right up the middle.
Tackle by number 20, Riley.
So here we go. Nice field position. We're at the 35-yard line.
First down for the Phantoms, ball on their own 35-yard
Big offensive line for the Phantoms.
Well, the running, as you mentioned, that's the name of the game for both teams, but especially this West Pere.
Number 78, Cody Kodenko, 6'4", 285 on that line.
Josh Blount, you just heard all the numbers from Johnny here to start the game. Hands off to start this one, and the Wrightstown defense right there to meet Sam Momarts.
Quincy Klister, big play right off the bat. Smelled that one, read it right. Came through, nephew of the head coach. Second leading tackler on the team. Did a great job that time.
Wow, did they get back there quick.
6 foot, 195-pound junior, running back as well.
And Momarts has been outstanding this season. 64 carries coming into this game. He averages about 10 yards a carry.
Yeah, they all, like I said, as a team, they average over 9 yards a carry.
So a loss of 3 on that one brings up 2nd and 13. Ball sitting on the 33-yard line. Blount wants to throw. Looking deep, looking left, and that is caught. I thought it was going to be picked off, but it is caught and inside the 20-yard line. What a grab by number 31, Aaron Wagner.
Incredible. I thought it was going to be intercepted too because that wind really held this one up. They were looking deep. The wind really held it up. And, you know, I think that wind actually helped him because the defender, I'm sure thought it was coming down in his arms, and it just sailed over his head. Wow, what a big play.
So, a minute into this one, and West Pere already in the red zone. Hand off to Momarts. Momarts punches his way across the 20-yard line.
Second man through that time. Pretty good, nice gain. Taken down by number 64, Mason Hendrick, 6'2", 175-pound defensive end. It's one of those teams, too, that West Pere, I guarantee you we're going to miss some plays tonight because we are going to be faked out. He does such a great job, this quarterback does, at carrying out the fake. And there's about 3 different options, it seems like, on every play.
2nd and 6 from the 17. One man to the right. Blount takes it to the left and tried to leap over a defender, met in the air, took a pretty good hit that time.
Yeah, kind of a naked option that time. Had the one running back leading the way, Jeremy Van Zeeland. Number 30 making the stop, 6'2", 190, making the stop for Wrightstown. You see the running back kind of leading the way as a blocker, Sam Momarts.
Well, you've seen Josh Blount over the last couple of years, and he does most of his work on the ground, although this year he's really mixed in, worked on that passing game this season.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, there's no question about it. He can throw. He's a tremendous baseball player. He's going to play college baseball.
So here's a 3rd and short. 3rd and 2 from the 13. New man is David Vanderlot.
Hit early on, Josh Rentmeester, 6'2", 280-pound defensive lineman that time. Number 71 wrapped him up in a hurry, but he got enough for the first down.
Vanderlot with 55 carries coming into this one, almost 500 yards.
Yeah, they've got a variety of weapons, don't they?
11-yard line.
They've got variety.
And you need that. We've seen some really good teams over the years where they've had maybe 1 or 2.
And then one injury can just destroy a season. No question, we've seen
like
that.
This West Pere team where they've got several guys that can really make a difference. So fresh set of down, sitting on the 11-yard line. Vanderlot again will pick up another 6-7 yards.
Yeah, they've got a nice little thing going on the left side. Every play's been run to the left side so far tonight. You notice that? It's kind of unusual.
Going with the wind?
Klister.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. So 2nd and goal from about, 7?
Well,
8?
actually, where they marked him. Maybe
Oh,
he
is
picked
he
up about
short?
4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So he's going to bring up a 2nd and 5. And they can still pick up a first yard or a first down without scoring a touchdown.
Blunt keeps it.
Blount tries up the middle. Took a pretty good hit again. So,
yeah, he's taken some hits early on here, hasn't he? Early in the ball game. I told you that that's Luke Renard that time. Only 5'8", 170, but he's not afraid to throw his body in there. Look at that.
3rd and 4 for the Phantoms.
So a gain of 1. 3rd and 4.
tight formation this time. Momarts goes in motion. And who's got it? It's Momarts.
Oh, wow.
Another massive hit. 4th down coming up.
Once again, that was Jeremy Van Zeeland. Number 30. Wow, did he meet him face to face? Oh, my goodness. Watch number 30 come up from his linebacker spot. So he got faked out, as I have a time or two. But, wow, number 30 just came up and gave a lick.
We're going to be calling Jeremy Van Zeeland's name quite a bit tonight, especially on offense.
Boy, I guess. Wow.
But, also getting some big plays here on defense. So we're going to get a timeout here on the field. West Pere wants to think about it with 4th down coming up. We'll take a timeout. You're watching Showdown on My New 32. Well, a 4th and 5 coming up for the Phantoms, sitting on their own, or on the Wrightstown 6-yard line. 8:01 to play in this first quarter. First drive of the ball game for the West Pere Phantoms. Of course, the big play was a passing play. It got them deep into Wrightstown territory, and West Pere, after taking a timeout, has elected to go for the field goal. So Sawyer Grovogel on for the try. The kick is up, and it is no good. No good, and Wrightstown holds the Phantoms scoreless in their first drive.
Number 21, Ben Yeager, came close to blocking that, and I wonder if that kind of got in the kicker's face a little bit, seeing that blue jersey coming across in his field of vision. Gets a good rush, comes in right there. I thought he had it, to be honest with you. But again, look at the flags. That's exactly the way the wind is blowing.
Yeah, so Jack Batten using that timeout to discuss it and try to figure out if they should go for it or kick that field goal. And
well, I'll tell you what, that was an impressive defensive performance on the part of Wrightstown. Obviously, the one pass that could have been intercepted, but wow, did they show some aggressiveness in that series.
Set the tone early in this one. So just under 8 minutes to play in this first quarter, and Wrightstown will get their first offensive possession of the game.
Fumble.
Yeah, did he drop it twice?
I think so, yeah. I think he dropped the snap, picked it up, and dropped it again.
Yeah, the quarterback number 5, you see there, Reed Romanesco. I thought on the initial snap it was dropped. Let's see if we can see it on the replay.
Yep, then it kind of bounced. Yeah, he never really did a nice job of just recovering it.
And I think the second fumble was more, he was supposed to pitch it to someone.
Yeah, and bumped into somebody. And
and I think the timing was all messed up.
Yeah, and then he just came out of the ball game. So Romanesco ran that one play, and then he just came out.
Well, and again, we talked about so much about that West Pere offense. How about this Wrightstown offense?
Yeah, it's unique.
They like to run a lot.
Look, you don't know who the snap's going to, so there it goes right there. This is Yeager.
And Yeager
did a nice move.
Nice job selling the fake.
Very nice job. Ben Yeager, who's averaging 7.2 yards a carry, has 10 touchdowns on the ground, 709 yards rushing. And one of the Wrightstown people told me to say that his dad played for West Pere, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, you mentioned all the connections between the two.
Right, there's one right there. Absolutely.
Teams.
Absolutely.
So here's a 3rd and 8. Receiver to each side. Snap this time, and it's Yeager again. He wants to throw, and that one a little bit too high.
Yeah, just kind of sailed on him. Again, I give these teams credit for even trying to throw, because I can't imagine tossing a football around on a night like tonight, especially in a timing pattern. You know, we're talking about other connections, though, but the athletic director here, Craig Hayes, phenomenal athlete in De Pere back in his day. Basketball player, played at Youngstown, great football player, could have played college football. The Hayes family, legendary in Wrightstown. We're just all his friends up here say he's overrated.
So, punting situation here for the Tigers.
That snap.
His drop, it picked up, and now a good
turned
bounce
out to be a
for
good
the
one.
Tigers.
Yeah.
So inside the 40. So we're going to take a timeout. You're watching Showdown on My New 32. So no score here at Wrightstown in this non-conference matchup between West De Pere and Wrightstown. Ted and Johnny with you for this one. Still in the first quarter. 6:14 remaining in this first quarter, and Blount tried himself on the left side, looking for a block. Very patient, and will pick up about 9 yards, John.
Yeah, very nice. You got a nice block out there. The defender came out. He was going to have the edge, and then just a real nice block on the part of West De Pere to free the quarterback. But you're right. He did a nice job of watching that and kind of reading it. See, they pulled the guard. He comes out. He gets the block right there. Takes out the edge man. There's big number 65 rumbling out there. Bryce Groff, 5'11", 240 pounds.
9-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 1 from the 46. We got
First
Wagner to the right, but they'll keep it on the ground. A first down and into Tiger territory.
Just straight ahead, nothing fancy that time. Jared Pelishek making the stop, 6 foot, 165-pound ball player.
Replays tonight brought to you by Simon's Cheese. They are our instant replay sponsor. Simon's is the home of multiple world champion cheeses. Simon's Cheese located off of Highway 41 at the Little Chute exit. Stop there today.
New set of downs. Wrightstown territory. First man.
Right up the gut again. Just running between those big offensive linemen.
Yeah, taking a look at some of the size there on the offensive line. We're talking about Jake Schmidt, 6'3", 225. Justin Benoit, 5'11", 240. Gabe Somerville, 6'2", 290. Kerry Kodonko, 6'4", 285. The tight end, Billy Wyatt, 6'6", 240. Not bad size for high school.
No.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Kodonko had multiple offers, but has accepted a preferred walk-on to Wisconsin. Another young man from the area heading to play for the Badgers.
Wow, nice drive. Just keeps the feet moving. Strong runner that time. Cody Cavill. Nice job, 5'11", 225.
Picked up by Pelishek.
It's a name we've heard in West De Pere lore for different years.
Cavill.
Another first down. Just kept the legs moving. Just a power move that time.
So a 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35. 4 minutes remaining in the quarter. We'll go with Momarts in the backfield once again. Blount looking to the right side. They haven't tried the right side too often tonight.
No, that's what I mentioned. Everything was to the left side early on. Picked up about 5. And I like the observation you made earlier, Teddy, that he's very patient. He has that one lead blocker ahead of him, and he really reads it. He really waits for a play to develop right there. Did a nice job. Picked his hole.
Well, with the success this guy's had, he trusts his offensive line. There's no doubt about it.
Man, it's been incredible success.
So a 2nd and 6. Wrightstown looking for a stop here. Up the middle, Momarts dragging a defender.
By Momarts, tackled by
Good strength by
good,
Sam.
Good strength, but he also had good blocking that time. They really pushed the defensive line backwards. Big number 78 that I mentioned really led the way. Kerry Kadanko, 285-pounder, number 78.
Nice run here, but Momarts is going to be just shy of the first down. So a third and very short coming up here.
4-down territory. Had to do it.
All right, where's the tally? You need to get a tally going here for that.
Over or under? What is it?
5.
Okay. First man. Ooh, he is.
Met at the line, keeps the legs moving, and picks up the first down. Nice job by Cavill.
Once again, boy, he's been the bread and butter that way on short yardage. He was stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Absolutely stopped at the line of scrimmage. And you're right, just those strong legs just kept them moving and driving to get that 1 yard. You know, he's 225. I mean, he's 5'11", 225. So right there, he was stymied, and that was all his length strength, that lower body strength.
Yep, stopped initially.
That was impressive. I'm telling you, though, this Wrightstown defense, they'll hit you. They will pop you.
And looking for a stop again. Ball sitting on the 24-yard line. They give it to number 24. Momarts dancing. And let's see, close to another first down.
Little short, about a gain of about 9, I would say, from this vantage point. Boy, that left side has really worked. Wrightstown's got to do something to bring up somebody from their right side, because another nice block right there. They really got something going on the left side right now.
Somerville out there leading the way, big number 76.
Timeout.
So a timeout called by Wrightstown this time. 1:35 remaining in the first quarter. No score. We'll take a timeout. You're watching Showdown. Getting a look at the huddle for the West Pere Phantoms. No score in this first quarter, but the Phantoms threatening right now.
You know, we were talking about that in the pregame with Coach Batten. We were talking about the